So let's get into part 2. And part 2, we jump right in, okay? Mrs. Mops, they show footage of Mrs. Mops saying that she's telling Mrs. Sunday that none of the ladies she's not friends with any of the ladies. And at this point, she's asked, so aren't you friends with Happy? And she's like, look, at the time, we were just building on our friendship and relationship, and right now I can say we are friends. Good comeback, because hey, we were also questioning that statement when it aired, like, aren't you guys friends? Like, you guys are like an alliance of some sort. Anyway, and then Ratile's comment about Mrs. Mops' role as a COO in her husband's tech company being bedroom matters. Whoa. Now, this got Mrs. Mops activated to another level. I've never seen Mrs. Mops like this, guys. She went in, she ate Ratile up, she left no crumbs, Ratile could not even get a word in, Ratile could not get a rebuttal. All she could master was, what was she saying? She kept saying, even you came for me, and she kept saying, can you get another job in another company as a COO? Like, basically, she was disqualifying her capabilities as a COO in a tech company. But one thing we're not gonna disrespect is the fact that Mrs. Mops came ready. Okay, she ate. Whew. Honestly, guys, even Ratile looked shook. I mean, she was like, whoa, I didn't think that's where we are at. Like, we're gonna come and shout like that, and she was not prepared. But when she said, when Ratile said, even you came for my career, and that's when now Mrs. Mops is like, where? When have I ever come for you this season? When have I come for you? I've never come for you. And at this point, the host is like, okay, Ratile, since we are here, can we just clarify? Feel free, this is the time to now speak your truth. When did she come for you? And she's like, oh, when we were making the cocktails at the getaway, she talked about my career, but production edited it out. And the one thing you're not gonna do is come from production and imagine they won't come back for you. Because production played back that scene, and there's nowhere, at no point did Mrs. Mops say. And Ratile's defense is like, look, I don't remember what she said. Now you don't remember what she said. Girl, this was not Ratile's reunion. From the first part where she's talking about creating drama for entertainment, and now she's blaming production for editing. Things don't look good for her at all. Honestly, it's not looking good for her at all, honey. I'm questioning whether she's gonna come back. That's just my theory, but I don't know. We get to now where we see, and I mentioned in part 1 because that was the thing that stood out for me the most, but Mrs. Sunday's breakdown and meltdown. She got a panic attack. Guys, when I was watching that scene, I was crying. Okay, it was really hard to watch. It was heartbreaking, to say the least. And it started with Nosy kind of telling her, own your stuff. Just, this is the time you own your stuff. Own what you said and, move past it. But she couldn't get the words out. I think it was just too much for her. Even the fact that Mrs. Mops was just coming for her, and it was just a lot, I think. And in all honesty, this is just my opinion now. I feel like Mrs. Sunday needs to take a step back and step away from the show and just go work on on herself, because mental health issues are not a joke. They're nothing to play with. And we see even Sonal on Real Housewives of Nairobi, she also decided to take a step back and go work on her mental health and her priorities right now, which are herself. And that's what I feel Mrs. Sunday should do at this point. Mrs. Sunday, if you're watching this, my heart goes out to you. I'm really sorry for what happened. I never wish that on even my worst enemy. And I hope you can take time and go heal, because that was a hard to watch. Even Mrs. Sunday, who was coming for her, was there to comfort her. The host stood up and gave her a hug. Yeah, it was a lot, and hugs, girl. Yeah, the ladies get to talk about the Barbara situation, and Barbara was a huge part of this season and storyline. And it's only fitting that she comes, because Ratile said she wishes that Barbara would come and address things. I'm guessing she wants to address things with Barbara face to face, because Barbara definitely is no longer working for them. Obviously, watching back the show, she's definitely not working for them. The things she was saying. Anyway, Nunurai has a lot of angst and anger towards Happy, and she's like, Nunurai, what you did was messed up. She even asked Mrs. Mops, do you think that was okay? Do you think that was cool? Because at that point, Mrs. Mops is like, oh, yeah, see Nunurai fighting for her person there who can't even talk. And Nunurai is like, no, the fact of the matter is that stuff was not cool. It was messed up. Are you guys going to sit here and say that that was okay, guys? And, it got really heated between Happy and Nunurai, to the point the host stood up and she's like, guys, what we're not going to do is talk over each other. Can we have one person at a time, And so the ladies get to, kind of articulate themselves. And Nunurai is like, look, guys, what happened was very unprofessional, so wrong on so many levels, and it's not cool. And if stuff needs to go to court and lawyers, we are going to do that. Now, guys, I know what stuff was said, and I know who it was said about, because the host said that they cannot talk about it because it's a legal issue, and the person who it was said about is not a part of the show. So I'll give you just a tidbit, because I'm not going to say what was said. I also don't want my page striked, okay? So whatever was said was about Nunurai's husband. Barbara said these things to Happy. These things were caught on camera, on tape, but edited out because legal issues, right? And if you remember, a few weeks into the airing of the show, Ratile was seen at the courthouse. At the time, it sounded, the rumors and stories that are coming out were that she's seeking a divorce, or possibly seeking a divorce. But I feel like, and these are just my theories, I think that's when she was going to file the court injunctions to stop Showmax from airing those bits of what Barbara said about her husband. And yeah, so what was said was not good, but for obvious reasons, it didn't air, and I'm not going to talk about it, but just know it was about Ratile's husband. That's it. That's all I can say. At the end, the host is asking the ladies and asking Happy, are you willing to move forward with Ratile? And you see, Happy is just like, yes, I am. I don't have issues with her. We are colleagues. We'll, be cordial. And Ratile is like, look, I have no interest in being friends with Happy. We can coexist, but that's about it. Because the stuff she said and the stuff that was said to her is about my family, and my family comes first. And I can understand that. I can understand, because what happened there with Barbara and Happy was very messy. And even I would be cautious calling someone like that my friend. Yeah, but in closing, Happy was like, look, guys, we are a collective, and let's just keep the drama among ourselves. Let's not involve other parties that are not part of the show. And I mean, all the ladies agreed, and they wrapped the reunion quite well. And for me, I'm waiting for part 3, because as they wrapped, the host said Barbara will be coming in part 3. I don't know if she was joking or if it's true, but I am waiting for that episode. And guys, we'll be back right here to talk about it when it drops. Okay, but for now I'm gonna say bye, and let's check you out in the next episode. Follow me on my other social medias, which are linked in the description box below. Comment, share, like, guys, so that the algorithm can push out this video and tell guys that I'm right here making this premium content, guys. Love you guys, and see you later. Bye.